Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most exciting areas of numismatics, the world of ultra-rare and incredibly valuable United States coins. These are the coins that capture the imagination of collectors around the globe, pieces with rich history, unique features, and astonishing price tags. From early American classics to modern condition rarity treasures, each coin on this list has an extraordinary story, exceptional rarity, and a market demand that continues to rise year after year. The 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar stands as one of the more intriguing modern U.S. circulation coins, appreciated by collectors for its place within the popular Kennedy series, and for certain rare high-grade survivors that reach surprisingly strong values. While most examples are common and inexpensive, the finest known certified pieces and rare error varieties have earned this date a respected position in modern numismatics. The coin's appeal lies in its nostalgic connection to the Kennedy era, its position in mid-20th century American coinage, and the challenge of finding pristine, sharply struck pieces from Denver Mint output of that period. As collectors increasingly turn toward high-grade modern coins, the 1972 D half-dollar has risen in demand, especially among registry set builders competing for the best possible specimen minted in 1972 at the Denver Mint. This coin comes from the early years of the Kennedy half-dollar series, first introduced in 1964 to honor the late President John F. Kennedy following his 1963 assassination. By 1972, the composition had already fully transitioned to a copper-nickel-clad alloy, marking a significant shift from the 40% silver issues of 1965–1970. The early 1970s were a period of heavy circulation use for half-dollars, and production numbers were substantial, reflecting the coin's ongoing popularity at the time. Although no special commemorations were tied to the 1972 D issue specifically, the coin still represents a critical stage in the evolution of U.S. circulating coinage, as America moved firmly into the modern clad era. The 1972 D half-dollar features the classic Kennedy portrait created by Gilroy Roberts, well known for its detailed rendering of the president's likeness and its clean, modern design. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, showcases the presidential coat of arms, a heraldic eagle holding arrows and an olive branch, surrounded by radiating stars and inscriptions. The coin measures 30.6 in diameter, weighs 11.34 grams, and is composed of a copper-nickel-clad surface bonded to a pure copper core. High-grade examples display strong luster, clear definition in Kennedy's hair, and crisp eagle feathers on the reverse, details that collectors highly value. Because many Denver Mint coins from this period suffered from weak strikes or bag marks, visually superior examples stand out significantly. While the 1972 D half-dollar had a large mintage, over 141 million coins, its rarity emerges in the higher mint state grades. Finding examples graded MS66 and above is notably difficult, and MS67 coins are particularly rare, with only a very small number certified by major grading services. Even fewer coins exhibit exceptional strike quality with minimal abrasions, making top-tier specimens highly desirable in the competitive registry market. Additionally, a small number of minor error varieties exist for this year-end mint, including off-center strikes, clip planchets, and die breaks, which introduce additional layers of collectability. Condition is the key driver of rarity, common in circulated form, scarce in MS65, and genuinely rare at MS67 or better. Most circulated 1972 D half-dollars are worth their face value or a small premium, typically $1 to $3. However, values rise sharply in high mint state grades. Examples graded MS65 usually sell for $20.40, while MS66 coins often command $80–150 due to their limited population. The biggest price leap occurs at MS67, where the finest known coins have sold for $1,000 to $2,500 depending on strike, eye appeal, and auction competition. Dramatic mint errors can also bring strong prices, generally from $150 to over $500 based on severity and visual impact. These values reflect trends in modern series collecting, where registry competition continues to elevate the price of exceptional condition rarities. Collectors seeking a premium 1972 D half-dollar should focus on strike sharpness, clean surfaces, and strong luster, qualities not commonly found on coins from high-volume Denver production lines of the early 1970s. Certification through PCGS, NGC, or ANACS is strongly recommended for high-grade examples, as precise grading makes an enormous difference in value. When searching raw coins, pay particular attention to Kennedy's hair detail on the obverse and the eagle's wings on the reverse, both of which reveal strike strength. Proper storage, such as using inert holders or slab protection, helps preserve surface quality. Reputable coin dealers, online auction platforms, and numismatic shows are the best places to find higher-grade examples or rare error varieties. In summary, the 1972 D. Kennedy half-dollar is a fascinating piece of modern numismatics, blending historical significance, aesthetic appeal, and condition-sensitive rarity. Although common in its circulated form, its true value emerges in the highest mint state categories, where the scarcity of sharply struck, well-preserved specimens drives strong demand among enthusiastic collectors. Its enduring connection to the Kennedy legacy, combined with the challenges of obtaining top-graded examples or attractive error pieces, ensures that it remains a rewarding coin for both newer collectors and seasoned enthusiasts. As interest in high-grade modern. Next up to in. The 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar stands as one of the more intriguing non-silver circulation strikes of the 1970s, highly valued by collectors for its exceptional top-grade rarity and fascinating place in the modern history of American coinage. While millions were minted, only an extraordinarily small number survive today in pristine, high-end mint state grades, which has driven intense collector interest and strong market demand. Unlike earlier half-dollars, which attracted attention for their silver content, the 1973 D is prized for its condition rarity, especially in grades MS66, MS67, and above. Coins at these elite levels routinely command impressive prices, making the 1973 D one of the most desirable clad Kennedy halves of the decade. Its appeal lies in the challenge it presents to collectors seeking premium examples for registry sets, where only the finest strikes can compete. The 1973 D half-dollar was produced at the Denver Mint, during a period when the U.S. Mint had already transitioned fully to copper-nickel-clad coinage. Intended primarily for circulation and mint sets, since no half-dollars were released for general circulation in 1973, the coin reflects the economic and inflationary climate of the early 1970s, when rising metal prices forced the mint to move away from silver. The Kennedy series itself commemorates President John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in 1963, and its continued production throughout the 1970s served as both a memorial and a staple of American coinage. Denver's role was crucial, as it produced a significant share of business strike halves during the era. However, despite high mintage numbers, strict quality control challenges, and heavy bag marking at the time led to a scarcity of superb specimens today. The 1973 D. Kennedy half-dollar follows the standard design introduced in 1964 by Chief Engraver Gilroy Roberts for the obverse and Frank Gasparo for the reverse. The obverse features a bold, left-facing portrait of President Kennedy, with sharp hair details and clean facial textures on well-struck coins. The reverse displays the iconic presidential seal, a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, surrounded by a ring of stars, clutching arrows and an olive branch. Struck in copper-nickel over a pure copper core, the coin weighs 11.34 grams and measures 30.6 min diameter. High-grade examples exhibit vibrant luster, clean fields, and strong central details, making the design especially impressive when fully preserved. Because Denver Mint business strikes often show contact marks and weaker strikes, coins with crisp details and satiny luster stand out as visually and technically superior. Although the Denver Mint struck 83.4 million examples in 1973, true rarity emerges at the highest grade levels. Most circulated widely or suffered heavy bag marking during the minting and transport process, making problem-free, sharply struck coins extremely difficult to find. In lower mint state grades such as MS62 or MS63, the coin is common, but once collectors pursue MS65 and especially MS66, availability declines dramatically. At MS67, only a handful of certified examples exist, and these command significant premiums due to intense competition in registry sets. Minor varieties exist, such as die polishing lines or small strike anomalies, but the main driver of rarity is condition rather than a specific error or variation. This rarity curve dramatically impacts desirability and value. Market values for the 1973 D half dollar vary greatly depending on grade. In circulated condition, it holds primarily face value. In lower mint state grades like MS63, MS64, it generally trades between $5 and $15. However, values climb rapidly as perfection increases. In MS65, examples sell in the range of $25.60, while MS66 pieces typically command $150-$300, depending on eye appeal and certification. The true standout values occur in elite grades. MS67 examples, when they appear at auction, can sell for $1,200 to well over $2,500, reflecting extreme condition rarity. Exceptional specimens with superior strike, luster, or minimal marks may achieve even higher premiums, driven by registry set collectors seeking the best available example for competitive rankings. Collectors seeking a premium 1973 D Kennedy half dollar should focus first on strike quality and surface preservation. Examine the hair detail on Kennedy's portrait, the cheek and jawline, and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. These areas often reveal weakness in Denver strikes. Look for coins with minimal contact marks, strong luster, and clean fields. Certification from respected grading services such as PCGS or NGC is essential, especially for high-end grades where small details dramatically affect value. Storage should protect the coin from humidity, contaminants, and handling. Airtight capsules or slab holders are ideal. When acquiring high-grade examples, consider buying from major auctions, reputable dealers, or established numismatic platforms where authenticity and accurate grading are assured. In summary, the 1973 D Kennedy half dollar stands as a significant modern collectible, valued not for silver content, but for its exceptional condition rarity and its role in a pivotal era of American coinage. Its strong historical roots, classic design, and scarcity in high mint state grades give it enduring appeal among collectors. Whether appreciated for its challenge, its aesthetic beauty, or its performance in competitive registry sets, the 1973 D remains a standout issue within the clad Kennedy series. As more collectors turn their attention toward high-quality modern coins, the finest examples of this date have strong potential for continued appreciation, making it a rewarding pursuit for both new and seasoned numismatists alike. Next up the 1974 D Kennedy half dollar stands out as one of the most intriguing modern U.S. half dollars, not because it is rare in circulation, but because exceptional high-grade examples and special varieties have captured the attention of serious collectors. While millions were minted for everyday use, only a tiny fraction have survived in pristine condition, making the top-graded and era variety 1974 D halves highly sought after today. Collectors value this coin for its connection to the enduring Kennedy series, its Cold War-era heritage, and its potential for exceptional worth when found in the highest certified grades. In the modern numismatic market, where condition, rarity, and pedigree dictate value, the finest examples of the 1974 D half-dollar continue to demonstrate strong collector demand. The 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar was minted at the Denver Mint, part of the ongoing series honoring President John F. Kennedy just over a decade after his assassination. By the early 1970s, the coinage system was fully transitioned to copper-nickel-clad compositions, marking the end of silver in circulating halves. The U.S. Mint produced these coins to meet widespread demand for Kennedy halves, which remained a popular keepsake among Americans. While the coin commemorates no specific event, it reflects an era defined by political shifts, economic challenges, and a continued national reverence for President Kennedy. Its place in the broader Kennedy series makes it a staple for collectors building complete date and mintmark sets. The 1974 D half-dollar features the familiar Gilroy Roberts portrait of President John F. Kennedy on the obverse, showcasing sharp details such as the finely textured hair and bold relief elements that make high-grade coins visually striking. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the presidential seal with an eagle clutching arrows and an olive branch, encircled by 50 stars. Struck in copper-nickel-clad, the coin weighs 11.34 grams, measures 30.6 in diameter, and carries the D mintmark just left of the bust. Although common in circulated condition, the coin becomes truly special when found with deep luster, clean surfaces, and strong strikes, characteristics that dramatically elevate its desirability. The Denver Mint struck over 79 million 1974 D halves, so the coin is not rare in normal circulation. However, coins that have survived in MS-67 or higher are extremely scarce. Striking quality varied widely that year, and most coins show marks, scuffs, or weak details. As a result, only a handful have ever been certified in the highest grades by PCGS or NGC. Even scarcer are legitimately authenticated 1974 D double die obverse (DDO) varieties, which exhibit subtle doubling on the inscriptions and are considered rare error coins. The combination of extremely low populations in top condition and occasional presence of valuable die varieties makes the 1974 D an important date for serious Kennedy half collectors. While common circulated examples are worth face value, the finest graded 1974 D halves can reach impressive prices. Typical uncirculated grades, MS-63, MS-65, range from $5 to $30, reflecting their abundance. In MS-66, values rise to $75 $150, and in the elusive MS-67 grade, the coin can command $400 $1,000, depending on eye appeal. Exceptional examples with standout luster and minimal contact marks may sell for even more at auction. Rare DDO error varieties can bring $300 $800 or higher based on grade and visibility of the doubling. The market has shown steady appreciation over the last decade as collectors increasingly seek high-end clad half-dollars, which are far rarer in superb condition than many silver-era issues. Collectors seeking a valuable 1974 D half-dollar should focus on strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. Coins with clean fields, frosty luster, and sharply defined hair and eagle feather details are the most desirable. Because the value depends so heavily on condition, purchasing coins certified by PCGS or NGC is strongly recommended. When searching ungraded rolls, pay close attention to potential DDO varieties by examining the lettering around "In God We Trust" and the date. Proper storage is essential. Use inert holders such as mylar flips or hard plastic slabs to protect surfaces from spotting and abrasions. Reputable dealers, estate sales, and online numismatic auctions offer the best opportunities to acquire premium examples. The 1974 D Kennedy half-dollar may be a common circulation coin, but in the world of high-grade numismatics, it holds a place of remarkable importance. Its historical connection to the Kennedy legacy, combined with the aesthetic elegance of its design, ensures its continued popularity among collectors. What truly elevates this coin, however, is the rarity of superb quality survivors and the occasional presence of valuable die varieties that intrigue specialists. For both new and seasoned collectors, the 1974 D offers an engaging blend of history, challenge, and investment potential. As interest in modern U.S.-clad coinage grows, the finest examples of this issue are likely to remain strong performers in the numismatic market. Next up the 1989 P. Kennedy half-dollar may appear at first glance to be a common modern coin, but in the world of numismatics, certain high-grade examples and rare error varieties from this year have achieved surprisingly strong collector demand. While most circulation-strike Kennedy halves from the 1980s are plentiful, a select few 1989 P pieces stand out due to their exceptional condition or unique minting anomalies. These top-tier examples have grown increasingly sought after by specialists who focus on modern U.S. coinage, particularly those striving to assemble registry-quality sets. As collectors place greater emphasis on high-grade modern coins, the finest 1989 P half-dollars have become important additions to advanced collections. The 1989 P Kennedy half-dollar was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, continuing the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series introduced in 1964 following President John F. Kennedy's assassination. By the late 1980s, the half-dollar saw limited circulation use, with most production intended for commercial banks and collectors rather than everyday transactions. Although 1989 was not associated with a particular event or commemorative theme for this coin, it reflects an era when the denomination was transitioning from a circulating coin to a collector-favored issue. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 24 million business strike halves that year, reinforcing the coin's role as a staple in the modern U.S. Mint's output. Like other Kennedy halves of the era, the 1989 P features the iconic portrait of President Kennedy on the obverse, engraved by Gilroy Roberts. The reverse, designed by Frank Gasparo, displays the presidential coat of arms with an eagle clutching a shield, olive branch, and arrows, an enduring symbol of American strength and diplomacy. The coin is composed of copper-nickel clad, measures 30.6 in diameter, and weighs 11.34 grams. While its design is familiar, the sharpness of strike, luster, and overall eye appeal vary widely, making exceptionally well-struck examples, especially those with booming luster or nearly flawless surfaces, particularly prized among collectors. While the 1989 P isn't rare in general, true rarity emerges at the upper end of the grading scale. Coins graded MS-68 or higher are extraordinarily scarce because Philadelphia Mint strikes in the late 1980s often show contact marks, duller luster, or weaker details. The few examples that have survived in near-perfect condition are considered elite modern rarities. Additionally, certain error types, such as off-center strikes, double strikes, and clash dies, exist in very small numbers and are valued far above standard issues. It is the combination of pristine condition and unusual mint errors that creates true scarcity for the year. Most circulated 1989 P half-dollars hold only modest value, but the top-graded and rare error examples command significant prices. A typical uncirculated coin generally trades between $3 and $10, depending on luster and eye appeal. High-grade certified examples in MS-67 often sell for $75 to $150, reflecting collector competition for quality. However, MS-68 specimens, which are extremely rare, have sold for $800 to over $1,500 at auction when they appear, which is infrequent. Exceptional mint error varieties, especially dramatic off-centers or double-struck pieces, can range from $150 to several $100s, with the most impressive errors occasionally exceeding $1,000. Values for top pop grades continue trending upward as registry collectors compete for the finest known. Example: collectors interested in the 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar should pay close attention to surface quality, strike sharpness, and original mint luster, three factors that strongly influence grading premium. Because the year is condition sensitive, purchasing coins graded by PCGS or NGC is highly recommended, especially for those seeking MS67 or MS68 examples. For raw coins, searching sealed mint sets from 1989 can sometimes yield well-preserved pieces. Proper storage in non-PVC holders is essential to prevent deterioration. When pursuing rare varieties, buying from reputable dealers or auction platforms is important, as authentication protects against altered or misrepresented pieces. In summary, the 1989 P. Kennedy half dollar holds a highly respected place among modern U.S. coinage collectors, not because it is inherently rare in general circulation, but because its finest known, top-graded examples and dramatic mint errors have become prized modern treasures. Its historical role in the long-running Kennedy series, combined with the difficulty of finding pristine specimens, gives it lasting appeal. For both new collectors and seasoned numismatists, the coin represents an attractive blend of history, artistry, and investment potential. As interest in high-grade modern coins continues to rise, the 1989 P. half dollar stands as a compelling example of how quality, rarity, and demand intersect to produce significant numismatic value.